So Hangar 16M has always been part of the master project. This building was built in 1915 as part of an air acceptance park during World War I. It's Grade 2 listed and described by English Heritage as a real rare surviving example. I think it's the only listed building of this side door entry that there is in the country, with offices at the back based on War Office drawings from 1913. So hugely significant. It enables us to showcase airframes and engines that aren't in the main museum, tell stories that aren't otherwise told. The reason why we haven't been able to start already is it's been occupied by the Great Western Air Ambulance charity. They'll be moving out towards the end of the year. We've now got the opportunity to make that vision reality, to repurpose and conserve this building. Well, as you can probably see, this building is in desperate need of repair. We need to repair the roof trusses, put a brand new roof on, remove the false ceiling in here to prevent it from further decaying. This will give members of the public the opportunity to come in and see conservation in action. So within their ticket price to the museum, they'll be able to visit 16M. We're forecasting to welcome about 180,000 people onto the site. So we need to have the large doors operating so that the big objects that we're going to be conserving, airframes and engines, can come in, and members of the public will be able to come into a viewing area and see the works that are taking place. But also, it allows us to re-engage our big pool of around about 150 volunteers, perhaps for our older volunteers to work with the new and share skills. It's the flagship project for 2019 and has always been part of the master plan that we're determined to deliver.
Last year, the volunteers won the Queen's Award for voluntary service. We estimate that the volunteers spent over £1 million worth of their time on the collections we have here today, such as the tram. Some of them have come from backgrounds such as the industry, or some of them are just plain enthusiasts, but we couldn't have done what we have done today without our volunteers.
I'm a volunteer with the Bristol Aero Collection Trust, and have been since the 1990s, when we were out at Concorde Airfield in Wiltshire. And we still have aircraft to restore, and this is one of the exciting ones behind me, Bristol Freighter Type 170. This aircraft, which left here in 1954, came out of service with the Royal New Zealand Air Force in the 70s. We produced 214 of them, but it will be the only one in the whole of Europe, and it was going to be destroyed because the airport management needed the space. We got to hear about it, and it took 3 years to negotiate the whole deal and finance it. The aircraft left Ardmore in New Zealand and travelled around Australia up to Singapore, and came through eventually to Portbury Dock, and we were all here in the early days of January 2018 when it came in convoy to this airfield here, temporarily stored in the Brabazon hangar, and we're excited to get the parts of it over to our restoration hangar 16M. We are looking forward to doing our restoration and conservation work in front of the public, getting young people excited, inspire them to come into the industry, take up apprenticeships, and do some of the things that I used to do when I was employed by the company all those years ago.
So following school, I studied A-levels and decided that university wasn't for me, and instead I wanted to do an apprenticeship. But this meant I had to wait a year before I could apply for my apprenticeship. So I thought, what better way to get a foot in the door and to start trying out some real engineering work than to come and become a volunteer here. From an engineering standpoint, I learnt so many skills, I learnt so many ways of working, which even though I'm working with engineers who had retired, they are still in play today. Methods that were born here on the Filton site still being used decades later, and it's really helped me to sort of develop my own designs and current day aircraft. I'm really excited about the 16M project. So it's going to really help us to develop this story of Filton, to help showcase some of the amazing things that have come out of the area and the aerospace industry as a whole.